approaching sunset, so you also hear birds chirping every once in a while. As you walk closer to the river, you start to notice leaves falling on the surface of the water. You wade out into the center of the river. And as you go on this journey, you focus on your breath. And you can do this right now as you imagine this occurring. When you breathe in the cool, refreshing air has a healing energy to it. Healing energy. When you breathe out, all your worries drift on down the river. And when you breathe, you can feel your chest rising. You may even feel the clothes move a little bit on your body as your chest expands. You can do this when you sit in a chair, or lie in a bed, or even sit or stand at your computer, and you notice the way you breathe. And when you breathe out, you're not pushing the air, you're not pushing. No, it's just a release. It's a release. The action of breathing is both. It's a voluntary and involuntary action, kind of at the same time. If you don't try to put forth the effort to breathe, you will breathe. But you can be aware of your breathing. You can be aware of the effects it has on your body. Jumpin' Joseph on it, Emily. Ooh. Emily, oh my goodness. Emily, hello, welcome. Welcome to the river. My name is Bowman. And right now we're doing a guided meditation. We are at the river. And as we go deeper into the deeper section of the river, and we wade out into the middle of it, we can feel the water, the warm water, flowing past. When you enter the water, you would do so from 1 foot at a time. Relaxation beginning at your feet, going up to your ankles, rising up your calves as you walk further As the river gently flows, so too does the universe flow gently. Relaxation continues up your legs, around your knees, the knees that have been carrying you around all day, all week. You can thank them for their help, for everything they do for you, as you continue to relax. Good night, Emily. Good night, Marcel. Good night, Marcel. The water level rises and continues up your thighs and around your glutes and your waist, right? All the muscles, all the way when the water level rises as you walk out to the center of the river. You notice your muscles, any bit of discomfort, you take note of it and you move on. You don't try to solve it. You don't try to move and scratch it. You just acknowledge it and move on. In the same way, the sounds that you hear at the river, the sounds that you hear. If you hear a bird chirping, you don't need to turn your head and look at it. You don't need to judge the sound that you hear. You just acknowledge its existence. And you move on. As the sound moves on, the same way the water moves on, and the universe flows, and the relaxation continues up your body. And when you breathe in, relaxing, cleansing, purifying air. Breathing out, any tension, releasing it. Relaxation continues up, around your waist, your back. Relaxation continues up your back, even if your back has had pain in the mornings or at night, or when it rains. You acknowledge it. You continue the scan up your body, your neck. Whether you move it or not, the relaxation continues up the back of your head and over your face, your eyebrows. You tap your eyebrows if you want with the backs of your hands, and you realize you don't have to furrow your brow. You can relax your face by your jaw. Put your hands, the backs of your hands on your jaw. Relax your jaw. Allow your jaw to become slack. Sometimes I stretch by opening up my jaw all the way. And then I clench my jaw all the way and then I open it up as far as I can. And then I close it as tight as I can. And then I relax. And the muscles remember what it felt like to contract or to expand. And you just remind the muscles they have permission to relax. Permission to relax. So do you. You do have permission to relax. Okay. When you breathe, reminder, you're not pushing air out. expanding your lungs to breathe in. And you're allowing the air to release. You're being aware of your breath, being aware of its effects on your body. Let's turn our attention now to these leaves. Remember the leaves? Remember the leaves? The leaves floating on the surface of the water. These are like your thoughts. When the leaves fall to the surface of the water and they drift by, you can pick them up and look at them and spend a little more time with them if you want to. And you can hold it close and say, I'm going to hold on to this. Or you can put it back. Or you can just acknowledge it and allow it to flow. In the same way, these can be just like your thoughts and your emotions. Your intrusive thoughts, your intentional thoughts. The things that you can't stop thinking about. You don't mean to hold on to them, but sometimes you do. Sometimes they linger, right? Sometimes they linger. Good night, Andre. In the same way, leaves, sometimes they get stuck on you in their flow down the river. Some of the other ones can go by and other ones get stuck. And you don't try to push them back up the river. You just let them flow. But what if they get stuck? I will help you unstuck them, okay? For a moment, let's submerge underneath the water. You open your eyes underneath the water, and you can see fish swimming by. Not a care in the world. You see ducks, just their little feet underneath the water, going so fast, so fast, so fast. You see bubbles coming from the bottom, coming to the top. You resurface. You look around. You see that duck. The duck is just floating by, just slowly, right? Its legs were going so fast. And you don't see the bubbles reaching the top. You saw them underneath, but you didn't see them burst at the top. In the same way, our emotions, our thoughts, our personalities, sometimes beneath the surface, there can be a lot going on. Sometimes if you look down into the water, you'll see the fish swimming around or whatever, but you don't really experience it. The things that you see on the surface, you see the duck peacefully gliding across the surface of the water. In the same way, you can be like a duck. You can work so hard with your little feet underneath the water, with paddling and paddling and paddling, and yet everyone else sees just this gliding along the surface, majestic creature, right? Some of you, and I suspect you specifically, you know who I'm talking to. I think you may be this way. Things aren't as easy for you as it seems to be for other people. You have to try harder than everyone else to achieve the same graceful glide across the water, and that is amazing. All of the work that you do, all of the extra effort you put in, the extra skill, the precision, the energy that you expend that nobody sees, nobody thanks you for. Every once in a while somebody might tell you how much they appreciate you, but the majority of the time you're going to put forth a ton of effort and no one's going to know. All they're going to see is this graceful gliding across the surface of the water. Thank you guys for following Community Helper. Night Slayer, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Oh, and one in JC, also thank you. Community Helper, what's up? Hello, hello, hello. Salem. Arcana. Salem. Arcana. So in the same way, you can be like a duck. A duck doesn't need anyone to thank it. It puts forth the effort. When the fish swim through the water, they seem to glide easily. The amount of effort they put through is easily visible to any other observer. The duck has to try harder. So much movement underneath the surface, and any observer sees a graceful, gliding duck. Okay, now let's talk about the bubbles. Let's dive underneath the surface of the water once again. Underneath the water, the riverbed has soil and plant matter. As it decomposes, it produces gas. The bubbles you see rising to the surface. The waste. These gases are the waste produced, or the result, from the decomposing material on the surface, or on the bottom of the riverbed, you see. And when the bubbles float up, it's all the stuff that isn't needed. And remember, when you were on the surface, you didn't see a whole lot of bubbles rising up, but they were there. In the same way, your worries, your stresses, the waste, so to speak, from the expenditure of your processing of your emotions and your feelings, these will dissolve and rise to the surface in the same way. Just like this. Worries drift away like bubbles rising to the surface. other birds. Some of them are little birds. Some of them are majestic owls. Eagles. All flying through the air, all going the same way. Little birds flying against the wind. The wind is blowing. The wind is blowing. So fast for this little bird. Its wings are going so fast into the wind. It's trying to catch up. It's trying to catch up to the others in the flock. Meanwhile, the others appear to be sailing through the sky with like zero effort. You have to catch up to the others. But they're fine. They're chilling. Even the ones in the very back of the V are chilling. They're flapping their wings every once in a while. But remember, there's that one bird in front. All the rest of them are drafting off of the bird in front of them. But the one in the front, the one leading the flock, is flapping like. It's flapping hard. Flapping like crazy. Everybody else behind is like, yeah, I'm good. Are you the bird that's trying to catch up? Are you the ones that are gliding, only flapping their wings every once in a while? Or are you that dude in the front that's like. Or have you been all of these? What I'm trying to get at is, there are people who will benefit from your hard work. There are people whose work is made easier because of you leading the way, flapping away. I'm definitely an occasional flapper tonight. Last goose to be flapping like crazy, barely keeping up. Yeah. You have to try harder. So the one working harder than anybody in the group is the bird catching up. Because not only do they have to go as fast as everybody else, they have to go faster. There's no one to draft off of to get up there. But then once they're up there, it's easy going. Through the air. You know, I'm pretty sure that those birds, particularly like ducks and geese, right? They take turns taking the front, you know, so that not everybody body is so tired. It's a natural progression. I am not a birdologist or whatever, but when the flying V kind of looks like this, right? The one that's in front. I'm going to use a different color because we used this one last time. Let's use green. That's kind of a lavender color. Matter of fact, let's use green. The flowologist. Thank you, Gator Dude. Also, and hello everyone. Thank you, Blood Sky. Hello, Seance. Seance. I said it. Seance. Knowles. Hello. Crit bonus. What's up? Glad I was able to get online and catch some winners all right on you. Okay, so do you see how there's a bit there in the front of the V? The one flapping in the front is flapping so hard, but they get tired, and so they naturally fall back, and the one who has had more rest can take over, and they can flap harder, and meanwhile the other one falls back over here in line and drafts off of the other birds. This is a natural progression. Everybody takes a turn, but you don't see the birds thanking each other. They just do it. Do it because it has to be done. Now, we are the same way. We benefit from other people and their hard work, and other people benefit from our hard work. And at times it can seem unbalanced. It can seem unfair. But the balance always does shift. Everybody takes their turn. And at some point in your life, you will work harder than everybody else in the flock. But you probably already knew that, because that's you. You're the one working harder than everybody else. And I'm sure you can remember a time when you needed a break, and there was somebody else there to take the lead and flap their wings harder than everybody else. And you may not even know it. Others benefit from your success, and they don't know it, and you don't know, but it happens. That's the natural progression of things. Which goose are you? You're the silly goose, because you're Gator Dude. Manny, hello. My hands can't do the thing. That's okay. Have a good one, Manny. I didn't hear what Lily said on the thing, but Manny is saying hello. Was it crit bonus? Was it Manny? I couldn't hear you, Lily. I'm so sorry. The only issues I have with the gooses, the little packages they leave everywhere. Yeesh. Yeah, they look like dog turds. 1 year ago today. Wow, dude, that's what's up. Appreciate it. Okay. And sometimes we need a little bit of help. And if you have some stress, if some of those leaves can't get unstuck, I can help you pull those out. There's worries and doubts and assumptions that society holds, and they sort of inject into your life, into your memories and things. And it prevents you from allowing your thoughts and energies and feelings and everything to continue flowing. So let's pluck some of those out of the way. You are loved and appreciated, regardless of how many people tell you that they love you and appreciate you. Remember, of all the people that love and appreciate you and don't even realize it's you, that they would need to thank. Also remember, you're not going to get thanks for most of the things you do. Reminding you of things you already know, universal truths. And you don't need the thanks, do you? Sometimes we think we need the thanks. Sometimes we think we need reminders. Reminders help. But we don't need them. It certainly helps. It's natural for it to help. My hands can't do the things that it was doing earlier. I appreciate you too, Manny. You're welcome. I'm so glad I could help. difficulty learning stuff in school. I had difficulty paying attention. I had difficulty sitting still. It was very difficult for me. My mother acknowledged that it was more difficult for me than was normal. More difficult for me than was normal. And she said, look, you're just gonna have to work harder than all the other little boys and girls. That's it. You're gonna have to be like a duck to glide across the surface of the water, to be easy and breezy and whatever. You're gonna have to work hard under the surface to get the same results as other people, and I'm gonna need you to be okay with that. And it's gonna be like that for your whole life. And I don't think she said all of those things. I think she just said it for like this grade. And she's like, you're just gonna have to try harder. Also, clean your room. I've told you 20 times, and you've just been like getting distracted. So I need you to try really hard, buddy. Okay. But I've applied that philosophy to my whole life. And any time that I would get down on myself for anytime that I would get down for like having to put in more effort than everybody else, I'd be like, that's by design. I was designed this way. And because of all the extra effort that I put into every single aspect of my life to achieve like normal, there are other things that I'm like really good at that other people like don't even think about. So, but those things are like not that valued in society. Like I'm really good at like knowing what I'm really good at figuring out what is gonna sound good on the microphone to help people relax. But as it turns out, there's people that do need that. And so, anyway, the point that I'm making is that all the extra effort that you're putting in, it benefits you, it benefits other people. It's benefiting you in ways that you may not have even discovered yet. Or maybe you have. And good for you. You've seen the fruits of your extra labor. But remember that that's like low-key rare. A thank you is rare. Discovering your like specialty is rare. When I mean specialty, like the one thing that you're good at that's better than everybody else. You may already be doing that, but not be aware that that's what it is. It may not be something that you can monetize. It may just be something that makes the world you live in a better place. And it's happening. It's all part of the plan. And it's not required of you. And this is the other side of that same coin. You may be trying harder than everybody else, but there are some, like, you don't have to be miserable to get a return on your investment. Is you may be putting in more time, or you may be putting in more focus, or you may be putting in more energy. But when you do it, it can be enjoyable. Look at the smile on that duck's face as it floats by. It's trying so hard, but it's not miserable. So too can you be happy. gently flows.